Hey, what is up everyone, Valnn here, and welcome to some Fallout 4 survival mode difficulty. Today I'm going to be going and doing this quest called Troubled Waters. I don't really remember doing it on my very first playthrough when I played on normal, but maybe I did it and I just forgot about it. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to go do it and see what's going on. And in the process, I figured that I might as well talk about some of the music that I enjoy, why I enjoy that music, and how I found that music, and how I got into that music basically. And a good band to start with is probably the Beatles, because they're very prominent, and I mean just about everybody in the world knows about them. And I mean, of course there's some people that don't know about the Beatles, just like there's some people that don't know about Star Wars, which is kind of mind-blowing, but I mean, it is what it is. They don't have the fortune of being able to find that or be told that, so it's just something that some people never hear or some people never see in the case of Star Wars. But the Beatles are one of my favorite bands of all time, one of my favorite psychedelic bands of all time for sure as well. And the reason I got into them honestly is because I really got into the Paul is dead theory, which is just a theory about how Paul is dead and shit like that. And yeah, I definitely have never done this quest before, so let's see what's going on here.
This is the Commonwealth's first and only hydroponics facility, run entirely by robots.
Supervisor White. There's not even one person here. That's pretty ingenious. I bet you can work around the clock.
Pretty ingenious. I bet you can work
Filthy
around the
Frank
clock.
killing it.
Of course, darling. Our unique hierarchy allows for constant operation. You see, there are two kinds of robots here. The worker drones carry out labor and maintenance. We supervisors, that is myself, green and brown, possess sophisticated cognition processors. We are capable of complex analysis and decision-making, a testament to the genius of our creator, Dr. Edward Gray.
Yeah, I have never done this quest before. I'm not even sure how I got it, to be honest. I think I got it from somebody was talking in Diamond City, I think, and basically
Dr. Gray.
in Diamond City I got a quest because I walked by someone who was talking about this or something.
It was a terrible
But I never did this in my first
Robotics
playthrough.
and artificial intelligence were our creator's great passions, rivaled only by his love of television.
AKA his love of gay porn.
Possessed a rather singular personality, as do the other supervisors.
Why did Dr. Gray give you these unusual personalities?
Genius is restless, darling. It abhors stagnation. Dr. Gray was tired of the standard Mr. Handy personality. He looked to his favorite television characters for inspiration, and we are the result.
Who are
A
the
few
characters?
other things you should know. Talk to Green if you need supplies. If it's caps you require, Brown might have a few odd jobs.
Brown
Ah,
shit.
There's one other thing. A question, really. Tell me, darling, what do you think of the water around here?
Well, I haven't seen any of the water at all, so I'm with the Minutemen. Did you need help with something? It's nothing special. I'll just say it.
I'm with the Minutemen. Did you need help with something?
Why, yes. That's what I was getting at, dear. The water. It's simply ghastly. Pressure's down. Radiation is up. Why, it's practically toxic. Just think what it must be doing to my skin.
Your robotic skin,
This
you
will
dumb
never
bitch.
do. If you Minutemen can lend us a hand, I'll be eternally grateful.
Of fucking course I'll lend you a hand. Just tell me what needs to be done.
Tell me what you need done.
Most of our water comes from the old Western plant, south of here. Such an eyesore. Be a dear and pay a visit, See what you can do. Maybe tidy up the place.
It must be filthy, just like Frank,
If you
motherfucker.
can get it working again, I'm sure I can.
You know that my name is Filthy Frank, right?
Something
And you're saying that shit is filthy? Whatever. Okay, so I gotta restart the main pump. But anyways, I was talking about the Beatles and how I got into them, but the Paul is dead theory really got me interested. I mean, there's just a bunch of shit on it, like how a whole bunch of songs are relative to him being dead, and it's like, I don't necessarily believe that he's dead, and I don't believe that he's alive at the same time. Like, I'm skeptical, I'm on both sides. Like, there's proof that shows that he could be dead, but it's like, it's so silly, the whole entire thing. It's like, is he really dead, or are people just looking too deep into things and don't have the right information and shit like that. And it's like, that's the great thing about the Beatles songs is I've listened to Revolver and I've listened to every single one of their albums, but Revolver is a good example of a Beatles album that I've listened to, and I've interpreted it in many different ways. Like, one interpretation obviously was the Paul is Dead theory, which there's a lot of things that make it sound like it could be supporting that theory. But another theory that I had is that a majority of the album is about taking acid, which, I mean, the fucking Beatles, that's when their psychedelic phase really started, and that's when they started really going hard into psychedelic music, and they left behind their old roots of how they used to make music, more poppy rock music, and kind of manifested this psychedelic rock sound. And a lot of the songs on Revolver support this theory, but there are some songs that are 100% about acid. Like, there's a song on there, what the fuck is the song called? I can't think of what the song's called, but it's literally about a book that John Lennon read about what your mind's capable of doing while on acid. I can't fucking think of what the song's called though for some reason. I'd have to look into it, but it's just crazy. And then there's like, I mean, listen to the album and you'll see what I'm saying about a lot of the songs are obviously about like fucking taking some sort of drug. I've heard that some of the songs are about smoking weed as well, like, because Bob Dylan, he, from what I've heard, he was the first person to ever get the Beatles to smoke weed, and they have a couple songs that are talking about when they first, I've been in here before. I was in here during my previous playthrough episode. I just didn't have this fucking quest, but anyways, yeah, Bob Dylan apparently was the first person to ever get the Beatles to smoke weed, so they have songs that are like dedicated to that, and a lot of them are on Revolver. I'm trying to think of an example. What the fuck? Man, it's been a while since I've listened to the album, but I'm trying to think of what the fucking song's called. I mean, I could look into it real quick, but I don't fucking know where my fucking phone is, and I can't really alt-tab out of the game to look, but Get You Into My Life, Got to Get You Into My Life, or whatever the fuck, that song is about that experience that they had with Bob Dylan, and it's just really interesting to think that their music could be very different if it wasn't for the fact that they ended up meeting Bob Dylan, if it wasn't for the fact that they ended up smoking weed, if it wasn't for the fact that they ended up taking drugs. Like, imagine if they never did any drugs, their music could have turned out really differently. And it's like, it's not necessary that drugs make good music, it's just the mindset that they were put into when they took drugs that really expanded their mind and made it so that they can make some of the psychedelic songs that they made. I mean, it's called psychedelic fucking rock. When you think about psychedelic rock, you gotta think, I mean, it has psychedelic in the word, like in the fucking name, the genre, psychedelic rock. It's obviously about psychedelic stuff, so it's obviously influenced by like psychedelic drugs and shit. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to another subject. I might go more into detail about this in the future, maybe on a different channel, or maybe in a full-on Beatles review or an album review of Revolver. I'll go more into it so I can get all my facts straight and write things down, and so that it's not just me off the top of my head. Well, the great part about it is that I already fixed your water problem. I don't know why you had me go there.
Why does it matter so much to you?
Mert.
A place like this, water is everything to us, dear.
Really?
You deserve something for all your hard work. Here, you can have some of our produce.
Wow, really? You're just going to give me some of your produce?
A discount too, if there's anything else you need. Now I simply must get back to work. Ta-ta!
Talk to Preston Garvey. Okay, well, I can talk to Preston Garvey. I was told that but Supervisor Brown. I was told that Supervisor Brown had some quests for me or something. Were you lying, fucking you bitch? Were you lying, you damn bitch? I guess I gotta return to Preston Garvey, though. Whoops. Sean map. So I'm just gonna do a couple quests, in this playthrough, but back to what I was talking about previously before I started talking to that robot. I'm gonna move on to another really good band that I listen to, which is called King Crimson. And just like how the Beatles made psychedelic rock, King Crimson really pioneered progressive rock. And the thing about King Crimson is, about any progressive rock band, psychedelic rock inspired progressive rock. Like, progressive rock was made because they wanted more complicated and more like substance to their songs. They wanted more. There's a better word that I can use, but I just can't think of it right now. They just wanted their songs to be fucking more. What the fuck is the word that I'm looking for? These fucking rad roaches. I don't want to accidentally hit fucking Preston Garvey, but whatever. More complex. That's a better word to use. They wanted their songs to be more complex, so they ended up. Can you watch out, Preston Garvey? So they ended up making progressive rock, which spawned off of psychedelic rock because they wanted their songs to be more complex and more complicated and more in depth.
But why not? If they're willing, I guess we can use them. I'll let you know if I hear of any settlements that need our help.
That's the end of the quest, I'm guessing.
Make sure to offer help to anyone that needs it. That can only help our cause.
Alright, Troubled Waters completed, and I got a level up. That's the thing about questing, is I haven't like done many quests this whole entire time. But it's like, quests are really good because fucking quests will give me experience, and I don't get as much experience if I'm not questing. And where was that area? Grey Garden. It's a settlement as well, but I want to come over here because I was able to pick up the military frequency or whatever over here, so I want to do the Paladin Dance quest, or I want to go help Paladin Dance in the Brotherhood, because I want to eventually get to the quest where I can repeat the cleansing the Commonwealth and the fucking, what is the other quest called? I don't know, whatever the other quest is called for the Brotherhood. But there we go, I just found the military signal. If I just go in on that, I should be able to go where I need. Okay, so yeah, I was able to. Now I just need to proceed to the Cambridge place. Do I have this quest even marked? Okay, yeah, I do. Alright, so go to the Cambridge Police Department. It's seriously not going to show me where the Cambridge Police Department is. I'm pretty sure it's over here somewhere, so I might as well start walking over there. But King Crimson, they really helped pioneer progressive rock, which in my opinion is, well, it's not in my opinion, in my mind, it's the best fucking genre of all time. It's just so complex and there's so much to it, and it's just so fucking detailed and beautiful, and songs that are just like from start to finish just fucking amazing. Is that 4 different Pulaski preservation thingies, or and what is that? I've never seen so many right next to each other. Does this mean anything? What is this thing? Porta Diner? Activate? What the fuck? Oh, what's... Oh my goodness, it's like a fucking claw. Is there any point to all this? Am I gonna find a skeleton or anything in any of these? So far, nothing. And I guess it's 5, not 4 like I originally thought. Oh, 1 skeleton, and his hand's stuck in the door, and it's fucking spazzing out. Oh well, who cares? But King Crimson wasn't even really the first progressive rock band that I got into. The first progressive rock band that I ever got into would have to be Pink Floyd, which Pink Floyd is really the reason why I listen to a lot of music that I do now. It opened my ears, I guess I could say. The normal person would say opened my eyes to better music, but if you think about it, when you listen to music, you use your ears and you listen in and sound waves and all that bullshit. So it really opened my ears to how good music could really be, and it got me to look deeper into music and made me find a whole bunch of fucking bands. Like, some good ones that I can recommend are like Camel, Caravan, and those are just a couple. Griffin. I would have to think about it longer and harder to give every answer I could, but Paladin Dance with his pink helm. Wow, really? I was stuck there for a second. Anyways, I'm going to assist these soldiers real quick. I'm going to help Paladin Dance in his pink hood. So there's a fucking mod that makes Paladin Dance Buzz Lightyear. I just think that's hilarious and awesome all at the same time. So in my very first playthrough, I went with the Brotherhood of Steel. This playthrough, I'll obviously go with either the Institute or the Railroad. I'm still trying to decide which one I want to go with. My brother went with the Institute, so that's one of the only reasons I think I might not go with the Institute, and I might go with the Railroad instead, because I've kind of seen what happens when you go with the Institute, and I've never seen what happens when you go to the Railroad. And I know there's unique quests on each side that I never did. For both of them. What up, Paladin Dance? My favorite sexy motherfucker.
What's your business here?
I wanna have sex with you.
Pest exterminator. I heard you had a feral problem.
Evading my questions is a surefire way of getting yourself ejected from the compound. Are you
Come on, Dance. Don't be a dick. Do all these questions really matter? After all, I helped you fight those ferals.
Do all these questions really matter? After all, I helped you fight those ferals.
This would be
Phil.
much easier for both of us if you'd cooperate.
Maybe I don't want to cooperate, Dance. Have you ever thought of that? Where you from? I don't really have a home.
Don't really have a home.
An answer that I hear often. Whether it holds truth or not remains to be seen. If I appear suspicious, it's because our mission here has been difficult. Since the moment we arrived in the Commonwealth, we've been constantly under fire. If you want to continue pitching in, we could use an extra gun on our side.
Sure. I'm just gonna do this because it gives me a chance of getting money.
How much are you paying?
Fell.
We need allies, not opportunistic mercenaries. I have no inclination to pay for your services.
But I want money. At this rate, you'll be dead within 2 days, and I want no part of it. Okay, I'll help.
I want
Whatever.
to help, but I don't like the secrecy. Who are you, really?
Very well.
Paladin Dance.
Brotherhood of Steel. Over there is Scribe Halen and Knight Reese. We're on recon duty, but I'm down a man and our supplies are running low. I've been trying to send a distress call to my superiors, but the signal's too weak to reach them.
Sir, if I may,
Shut the fuck up,
I've
Halen.
modified the radio tower on the roof of the police station, but I'm afraid it just isn't enough. What we need is something that will boost the signal.
Our target is ArcJet Systems, and it contains the technology we need. The deep-range transmitter. We infiltrate the
I'll put my
facility,
deep
secure the
range transmitter up
and bring
your
it
butt,
back here.
Paladin Dance.
So what do you say? You willing to lend the Brotherhood of Steel a hand?
Well, of course I am.
Who are the Brotherhood of
Oh,
Steel?
whoops, I didn't mean to
Our
click
order
that.
seeks to understand the nature of technology, its power, its meaning to us as humans, and we fight to secure that power from those who would abuse it.
Okay, can I say this is just a fancy way of saying that you're looting
This
everything?
is just a fancy way of saying that you're looting everything you can get your hands on.
Murked.
Looting implies that we're attempting to benefit ourselves. That couldn't be further from the truth. So, what do you say? Will you help us?
I wanted to say yes, but let's get moving,
Time to
motherfucker.
waste. Let's get moving.
Outstanding.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna go in here real quick. Is this considered stealing? I hope not. No. Paladin Reese or Knight Reese, wake
Take
up.
Reese inside and bind his wounds.
Yes, sir.
Reese, once you're on your feet, I want you to make certain the perimeter is secure.
I'm on it.
All right, civilian. It's time to prove your worth.
Okay, let me do it,
Police station
motherfucker.
and resupply yourself. Then let me know when you're ready to begin. Let's move out, people.
All right, big guy. Let's go.
Alright, so yeah, I just wanted to complete a couple of quests this episode. There will be more Fallout 4. I thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate anyone who watches, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.